Welcome to our channel. Today, we're exploring some of the rarest 1-cent pennies that have amazed collectors with their incredible value, so stick around to see just how extraordinary these coins can be. You might be surprised at which pennies can turn a simple cent into a treasure. Just one small coin, almost too easy to overlook, yet this tiny 1968 US penny has managed to surprise even seasoned collectors. It looks ordinary at first glance, the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on one side and the Lincoln Memorial on the other, but behind that simple copper surface hides one of the rarest and most valuable minting errors ever discovered in modern American coinage. The 1968 penny came out at a time when the United States Mint was producing billions of coins. Most were struck in the usual copper zinc alloy and carried the same clean design used since 1959. Nothing unusual there. But within the 1968 issue, a small number of coins produced at the San Francisco Mint stood apart. They were proof coins, made for collectors, each struck carefully with polished dies to give them sharp detail and mirror-like fields. That care, however, didn't stop an unusual mistake from happening. On a few of these proof cents, the die used to stamp the front of the coin shifted slightly between impressions, creating what collectors call a double die obverse. When you look closely at one of these coins, you can see the doubling in the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and even in the date, 1968. The letters appear slightly thicker, almost shadowed, but this effect isn't from wear or damage, it's built into the coin itself. This kind of doubling is one of the most sought-after varieties in US coin collecting because it proves that a flaw occurred during the die creation, not during circulation. Only a handful of these 1968's double die proof pennies have ever been confirmed, making them extremely hard to find. Unlike coins with minor scratches or off-center strikes, this is a true die variety. Every example shows the same distinct doubling, which means they all trace back to a single mis-engraved die used at the San Francisco Mint. Most proof sets from 1968 contain perfectly ordinary coins, so imagine the surprise of a collector opening one and noticing something unusual about the lettering. Some of these special pennies were discovered years later when people re-examined older sets with better magnification. The rarity became clear once experts verified that only a few were known to exist, and that the doubling was genuine. Condition matters a lot with proof coins. Because these were struck specifically for collectors, they were usually stored carefully, often remaining bright and reflective for decades. When a double die proof penny from 1968's appears in flawless or near flawless condition, it immediately draws attention at major auctions. For context, even small errors on a Lincoln cent can make a big difference in price. A minor off-center strike or a repunched mint mark might raise a coin's value from a few cents to a few dollars. But a true double die, especially one on a proof coin, changes the entire equation. The combination of rarity, visual clarity, and condition pushes the price far beyond ordinary collector levels. What's particularly interesting about the 1968's double die penny is how subtle the doubling looks until you view it under magnification. To the naked eye, it might pass as an ordinary cent, which is why it can still slip through collections unnoticed. Many experts believe there could still be undiscovered examples sitting quietly in old proof sets purchased decades ago. The discovery of one of these rare proof coins always excites the collector community. Each new verified example adds to the history of the variety, and collectors carefully compare die markers and mint details to confirm authenticity. It's a process that combines patience, skill, and knowledge, the kind of dedication that keeps coin collecting alive for generations. Finding a coin like this isn't just about profit, it's about the story it tells. It connects modern collectors to a specific moment in minting history when one small error created something truly exceptional. Every 1968's double die proof penny serves as a physical reminder that even in a highly controlled minting process, perfection is never absolute. This small detail, just a shift in the die alignment, turned an everyday 1-cent piece into a treasure worth tens of thousands. And as collectors know, every time one of these coins comes to light, it reinforces just how rare they are. When a pristine example of the 1968's double die proof penny came up for auction, the bidding showed how strong the demand really was. Coin specialists, investors, and hobbyists all wanted a chance to own one of the finest known examples of this rare variety. After intense competition, the coin's final hammer price reached an astonishing level that few could have predicted for a coin with a face value of just 1 cent. Today, if you happen to have a 1968 S-proof penny, it's worth taking a close look. Check the inscriptions carefully with a magnifying glass or a digital microscope. If you notice clear doubling in the letters or numbers, you could be holding something extraordinary. From a small copper-proof coin to one of the most coveted Lincoln cent varieties ever made, the 1968 S double-die penny has earned its place at the top of collectors' lists. It's a reminder that even in the world of modern coinage, true rarity still exists, and sometimes it's hiding in plain sight. And here's the best part: the most remarkable of these 1968 S double-die proof pennies have sold for as much as $121,000 at auction. That's right, a single penny, minted in 1968, once worth just 1 cent, now valued at $121,000. The next coin on our list looks completely ordinary to most people, a simple 1980 Lincoln penny. It's the kind of coin that probably passed through countless hands, dropped into pockets, and rolled through change counters for years. But a small number of these pennies struck in 1980 have a striking error that turned an everyday coin into one of the most valuable modern cents ever discovered. By 1980, the Lincoln cent had already been part of American currency for more than 70 years. It had become a familiar symbol of U.S. coinage, recognized instantly by its portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse still displayed the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. For most people, these pennies were just another part of daily change, but for collectors, even the smallest difference can mean the world. The 1980 penny was struck in two primary locations, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint, and both produced hundreds of millions of coins that year. With such huge production numbers, the focus was on speed and consistency. Still, no process is perfect, and even with modern minting equipment, small mechanical shifts or die-making imperfections sometimes slip through. In 1980, that's exactly what happened. During the die creation process, a minor alignment issue caused a double die obverse on certain Lincoln cents. The doubling wasn't random surface damage, it was created during the hubbing stage, when the design is transferred to the working die. A tiny misalignment between impressions led to the appearance of double details in the design, particularly in the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date, 1980. If you look closely at one of these rare error coins, the letters and numbers seem slightly offset or shadowed, giving them a thicker appearance. This doubling can be subtle, but under magnification, it's unmistakable. The precision of the doubling confirms it came from the die itself, not from wear or circulation damage. That's what makes these coins so valuable: they represent a true minting variety, not a post-mint flaw. In addition to the doubling, some collectors have noted slight shifts in the rim thickness or differences in the position of the mint mark, which may indicate that multiple dies were affected to different degrees. These variations help researchers trace how the error might have spread during production and at what point it was corrected. When first released into circulation, these coins went completely unnoticed. Millions of 1980 pennies entered the economy, and only years later did collectors begin to recognize the unusual characteristics on a few of them. It took time, careful study, and comparison with normal 1980 cents before experts confirmed that a legitimate double-die variety existed. Once verified, interest spread quickly through the collecting community. This was a significant find because double-die errors from the late 20th century are far less common than those from the 1950s or 1960s. By 1980, the mint had greatly improved its quality control, and major design errors were becoming rare. That's why any coin from this period showing strong, visible doubling immediately captures attention. It demonstrates that even precision machinery can still produce unique results. Collectors often describe this variety as one of the standout modern Lincoln cent errors. The most desirable examples are those with clear doubling visible to the naked eye and minimal surface wear. Because most of these coins circulated before anyone realized their importance, uncirculated examples are extremely difficult to find. When one appears in pristine condition, it becomes a centerpiece in any collection. The appeal of the 1980 double-die penny isn't just about its rarity, it's about what it represents. It's a reminder that even in an age of mass production, human oversight and natural imperfections can create something distinct and collectible. Every era coin tells a small story about the minting process, how metal, machinery, and precision must align perfectly to create consistency, and how a tiny shift can change everything. Over time, these rare pennies have developed a devoted following. Collectors search rolls of old change, check inherited coin sets, and study online coin forums, hoping to spot the telltale signs of doubling on a 1980 cent. It's a patient pursuit that often takes years, but for those who find one, the reward can be incredible. Even experts in the field still revisit this coin's origin, studying the die markers and engraving characteristics to confirm each new discovery. Every verified example adds to our understanding of how this minting error occurred and helps map out how many might still exist. But even now, the total number known remains very small, which only adds to its desirability. Collectors value these coins not just for their worth but for their educational importance. They're tangible examples of the minting process at work, where technical precision meets real-world imperfection. The sharp doubling, the clean design, and the mystery of how it escaped detection all contribute to the coin's unique charm. If you happen to come across a 1980 penny in excellent condition, take a closer look before spending it. Focus on the date and the words near Lincoln's profile. If the letters appear doubled or show a faint outline beneath the main strike, you could be holding something far more special than a simple 1-cent coin. As time passes, well-preserved examples of this era have become increasingly difficult to locate. Many have been stored in private collections, while others might still rest unnoticed in old jars, drawers, or rolls of coins that haven't been checked in decades. Each discovery adds a small new chapter to the story of the 1980 Lincoln cent and its place in modern coin history. The finest known examples of this remarkable 1980 Lincoln penny have reached a value as high as $71,000, an extraordinary figure for a coin most people would never think to look at twice. Next up, we have a coin that might still be sitting unnoticed in someone's pocket change, the 2000 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like any other cent minted in the new millennium, a simple design, a familiar face, and a coppery surface that's easy to overlook. Yet among the millions produced that year, a few stand out because of one small but fascinating minting variety that has made this coin a modern-day rarity. By the year 2000, the Lincoln cent had already seen decades of change. The coin's metal composition had shifted from nearly pure copper to a thin copper coating over a zinc core. The U.S. Mint had introduced modernized production equipment capable of striking thousands of coins per minute, each one designed to be identical to the next. But despite this precision, mistakes can still happen, and sometimes those mistakes create something extraordinary. This particular error is known to collectors as the 2000 Wide AM Lincoln cent. The name comes from a tiny but important detail on the reverse side of the coin, between the letters A and M in the word America. On most 2000 pennies, these two letters are so close they almost touch. That version is known as the close AM. But on a very small number of coins, there's a noticeable gap between the letters, making them appear farther apart. That's the wide AM variety, and it's what makes this coin special. Now, this wasn't a random striking issue or a damaged die. It was actually a design mix-up. Proof coins, those specially made for collectors at the San Francisco Mint, used a slightly different reverse design where the A and M were spaced wider. Somehow, one of those proof dies ended up being used at the Philadelphia Mint to produce ordinary circulation coins. That simple error created a rare and collectible variety that went unnoticed at first. Most of the 2000 pennies were struck with the standard close AM reverse, which makes the wide AM variety extremely difficult to find. To the naked eye, the difference is subtle, and that's what makes it so easy to miss. But under magnification, it becomes clear. The wider gap between the letters and the slightly shifted designer initials, FG, placed a bit farther from the Lincoln Memorial, confirmed the identity of this rare version. When this variety was first discovered, it immediately caught the attention of coin enthusiasts. The idea that a modern penny, produced with advanced technology and strict quality control, could still feature a mix-up like this was surprising. Collectors began checking their change, searching through jars, and re-examining rolls of coins, hoping to find that elusive wide AM design. Because these coins were never meant to be special, they entered circulation alongside ordinary cents. Most were used, worn down, or lost over time. That's why examples in pristine condition are so rare today. Finding one that still has its original shine and clear design details is like uncovering a small piece of hidden minting history. The 2000 wide AM penny also stands out because it represents one of the last times this kind of mix-up occurred on U.S. coinage. Similar varieties appeared in 1998 and 1999, but the 2000 version remains particularly well known among collectors. Each year's error tells a slightly different story about how the mint's processes evolved, and how small differences between proof and circulation dies could sometimes overlap. For coin collectors, what makes this variety so appealing isn't just its rarity, it's the detective work behind it. You can identify it yourself with nothing more than a magnifying glass and good lighting. Spotting that extra bit of space between the A and the M, along with the distinct placement of the FG, turns an ordinary penny into something exceptional. Many coin experts recommend that anyone who collects pennies from pocket change check all coins from 1998 through 2000 carefully. Even after decades, these rare varieties still turn up occasionally, sometimes discovered by people who had no idea their penny was worth more than face value. Finding one is always exciting, not only because of its monetary value but because it's a glimpse into the intricate world of minting. Each of these coins is a small reminder that even in a system built for uniformity, an unexpected variation can slip through and create something unique. Over the years, as more of these 2000 wide AM cents have been verified and documented, they've gained a strong reputation in the numismatic community. Examples showing minimal wear and clear spacing between the letters are considered especially desirable. Those preserved in mint state condition, untouched and bright, are among the most sought after of all modern Lincoln varieties. Collectors who own one of these coins often see it as more than a curiosity. It's proof that modern coinage still holds mysteries worth uncovering. The wide AM penny from 2000 has become a symbol of how close attention and patience can turn a simple find into a collector's highlight. So if you ever come across a 2000 Lincoln cent, take a moment to flip it over and look closely at the word America. That tiny space between two letters could make all the difference. It might look like just another penny, but it could be something far more valuable. And when it comes to value, this small minting mix-up has made quite an impression. In high-grade condition, with its wide spacing clearly visible and surfaces free of wear, the 2000 wide AM Lincoln cent has been valued at around $43,000. It's hard to believe that a single cent, something most of us wouldn't think twice about spending, could carry that kind of worth. But that's what makes coin collecting so fascinating. Every small detail can tell a bigger story. The 2000 wide AM penny is living proof that even in the smallest coin, history, craftsmanship, and chance can combine to create something truly special. Now let's move on to our last and equally intriguing coin, the 2004 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it doesn't seem remarkable at all. It has the same familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, the same Lincoln Memorial on the back, and the same copper-plated surface we've all seen countless times before. But hidden among the billions of pennies struck that year, a few rare pieces emerged that turned out to be completely different, coins that carry one of the most surprising minting errors of the modern era. By 2004, the Lincoln cent had long been a symbol of consistency. The design had remained unchanged for decades, and the U.S. Mint had nearly perfected its coin production process. Each piece of machinery was calibrated to precise standards, and quality checks were stricter than ever before. Yet even with this high level of precision, rare mistakes can still happen, and when they do, collectors take notice. What makes the 2004 penny special is that a small number were accidentally struck on the wrong type of metal planchet. Instead of being produced on the standard copper-plated zinc blank, some were struck on planchets intended for other coins, including dimes or even foreign currency that was being produced at the same time. These are called off-metal errors, and they're among the most fascinating and collectible mistakes in modern minting. An off-metal penny immediately stands out to experienced collectors. It might weigh less than it should, or its color could be slightly off. Some examples are noticeably thinner or smaller in diameter, while others may have a brighter or duller tone than normal. To most people, those small differences might not mean much, but to someone who understands how coins are made, they point to a major error in the minting process. In 2004, several of these off-metal Lincoln cents were confirmed by professional graders and numismatic experts. Some had been struck on dime planchets, resulting in a smaller, silvery-looking penny with missing edges of design. Others were found with characteristics that matched planchets used for coins of other countries that were also being produced at U.S. mints during that period. Each discovery added another layer to the story of how these unusual coins came to exist. Finding one of these rare pieces often begins with a sharp eye and a bit of curiosity. A collector might notice a penny that looks slightly different, decide to weigh it, and realize that it's lighter than the standard 2.5 grams. That's usually the first clue that it's not made of the usual copper-plated zinc. Once verified through testing, the off-metal composition confirms the coin's true rarity. Off-metal errors are among the most visually striking mistakes in all of coin collecting. Unlike double dies or misaligned strikes, which can be subtle, an off-metal coin feels unusual from the moment you pick it up. Its weight, texture, and even sound are different. These small clues are what make discoveries like the 2004 off-metal Lincoln cent so rewarding for collectors who enjoy examining every detail. What makes this particular year so interesting is how late in the series it happened. By the 2000s, errors of this nature had become exceedingly rare because of improved inspection systems and modern technology. That's why finding any off-metal Lincoln cent from 2004, a time when such mistakes were nearly impossible, is such a remarkable event. For collectors, each confirmed example becomes an instant highlight. The uniqueness of the metal composition, combined with the coin's modern date, gives it a special place in the study of minting anomalies. No two off-metal errors are exactly alike, each one is literally a one-of-a-kind collectible. That individuality is a big part of what makes these coins so appealing. Condition also plays a critical role in determining value. Coins that retain sharp design details, clean surfaces, and bright luster are far more desirable. Many of the 2004 off-metal pennies were likely noticed soon after minting, meaning some were preserved before heavy wear set in. These high-quality pieces stand out in collections, offering a rare glimpse into the unexpected side of coin production. Beyond their value, coins like these remind us of how complex the minting process truly is. Thousands of components must align perfectly, from blank preparation to striking and inspection, to produce uniform coins. When something as simple as the wrong blank slips through that process, it's both a mistake and a miniature miracle of probability. Collectors often describe finding one of these coins as a mix of skill and luck. It takes a trained eye to recognize when something feels off, but it also takes the right moment, that one coin out of millions, appearing where someone happens to notice. That's what keeps collectors searching through everyday change, long after most people have stopped looking. The 2004 off-metal Lincoln cent represents a modern rarity in every sense. It's a coin that shouldn't exist, yet it does, a small reminder that even the most advanced systems aren't immune to imperfection. And for collectors, those imperfections are what make coinage fascinating. Over the years, these unique 2004 pennies have become prized finds in the numismatic world. Their off-metal nature, distinct appearance, and confirmed rarity place them among the most desirable modern errors ever discovered. Each one is a reminder that even a single cent can carry a story of precision, accident, and enduring curiosity. And when it comes to value, the numbers speak for themselves. A verified 2004 Lincoln penny struck on the wrong planchet and preserved in mint state condition has reached an impressive price, around $37,000. Thanks for joining us on this journey through some of the rarest pennies you'll ever see. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next amazing coin discoveries.